TMI. Confessionals of the Nerd Kind. And now, your hosts, Jeff Nerfherder Chandler and Jim Kaiju Baker.
Right.
Hello, everybody.
We're on the front end, but anyone listening to this will be on the back end. So happy belated Groundhog's Day. And I'm going to tell you right now, if this fat little rodent does not tell us that we're getting an early spring, he might end up on the grill.
You know that Regal, they're screening Groundhog Day all day Monday.
Why wouldn't they? They should be running it every day, any day.
Over and over again. Right?
Over and over again.
You get the ticket and you never leave. It's just like it starts again. And then you get your own little alarm clock at the end of the movie. 5 years later, like, oh, that's the theater with Groundhog Day. That's roped off.
Yeah, there's been 5 people in there for the last 8 years. They just haven't come out. We're actually going to escape the snow. We're going to the beach.
We are.
With our friend samraimi and hgwells. I keep wanting to call this Save Me. I don't know why.
Or Rescue Me.
Rescue Me something. Yes, it is Sendhelp.
On the back end, we're talking the Island of Dr. Moreau.
The 1977 version.
Yes.
We're not talking the Val Kilmer, Marlon Brando. Was that 90? When was that? 96? 96. I did learn that there was a 1933 version.
Island of Lost Souls, I believe.
With Bela Lugosi.
Yeah. Well, of course, based on H.G. Wells' novel. So
yeah. I would have liked to have seen that. I didn't even know that existed.
Yeah. Well, maybe someday we will watch it.
Interesting. I'm going to pair it with Metropolis. Yeah. We're going to go back to like the 200-year-old movies. All right. So you want to go, we'll do a little bit of news.
Okay.
Well, as of yesterday, so like I said, even though we're recording today, the 1st of February, 2026, on February 2nd, Turner Classic Movies has become the new home for Bugs Bunny.
You have to pay for Turner Classic Movies, don't you?
Well, it's part of my cable package.
I'll have to look, because they were on HBO Max for the longest time, and then they were gone.
Yep. So HBO Max actually in 2022 decided not to renew their license. Turner Classic Movies has taken over as of February 2nd. They're going to dump them all, 750 in total. So they're going to start right with the original, A Wild Hare, which is considered the official first Bugs Bunny cartoon ever. When it was Merry Melodies, not necessarily Looney Tunes. But the new deal, they say, ensures these cartoons are celebrated, contextualized, and accessible to audiences of all ages. And I just hope they don't do any knee-jerk reactions and start editing them. These movies, these pieces of art are made at a certain time in history when certain things were acceptable or not as offensive as they can be taken now. So I'm thrilled that this is at least one-stop shopping. But like you said, if you don't have, cable is for old people at this point who don't want to change their ways. Cartoon Network or the Comedy Channel, you're going to get friggin' Seinfeld or The Office. They just run them in giant blocks. Big Bang Theory. I'll watch the same episode I've seen 100 times and then fall asleep to it. I did watch Turner Classic Movies the other day. They were running Chitty Chitty Bang Bang.
You see, everybody makes a big deal about that movie. I couldn't get through it as a kid. I just thought it was too boring.
It is laborious.
I don't even know who the child catcher is because I never watched the movie.
You've never seen?
No.
You've seen pictures of him.
I've seen pictures of him, but I've never seen him in the movie.
Wow. Do you know Benny Hill's in this? I love this movie, but watching it the other night, first of all, the print was fantastic, but it's all over the place. And every 2 minutes are launching into songs. It's almost 3 hours long. Yeah, I don't know. It hits me in my sweet spot. Dick Van Dyke is just fantastic. He's just a rubber band of a man. But it's not a great movie by any means. And I don't think Ian Fleming, who wrote the book, was probably very impressed with it. I enjoyed it, and I was happy to watch it. Maybe you're better off, because that guy is nightmare inducing. We need to just mention this just happened, which was we lost Catherine O'Hara literally like a day ago.
She's in so many movies that we love. It's hard
like,
not to take somebody like that for granted.
Ooh. Speaking of which, Macaulay Culkin, I don't know if you saw his Instagram post. He put out a little message on social media after it was announced that she died. And this is, speaking of, Mama, I thought we had time. I wanted more. I wanted to sit in a chair next to you. I heard you, but I had so much more to say. I love you.
And knowing the problems that he had parentally, that really hits home. She was just busy right up.
Beetlejuice.
Not so long ago, she was in Last of Us as a bit of a recurring character there.
Yeah.
And then, of course, Schitt's Creek, which is, ended, but
still.
She got so many superlatives for that. She'll be missed. Sally from Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yeah, very sad. So anyways, let's hear your good news.
So I just saw this morning on Yahoo. I'm not a sports guy, but this just made me laugh. Apparently, a boxing match this weekend. A boxer by the name of Jarrell Miller got hit so hard his toupee came off mid-fight.
Why would you wear a toupee to a fight?
Well, this is the funny part. And he actually came back to win the fight at the end. It didn't deter him because he's mad now, right?
Well, I would be pissed.
So there's a photo of him bowing, like showing his bald head to the world after he won the fight. And he's got like a ring of glue around his head.
Oh, no.
There is actually a photo on the Yahoo Sports page. So just pause right now and Google Jarrell Miller toupee, and you will see this, and you will laugh. He threw the toupee into the crowd after the punch, which knocked it off.
Did he?
So,
did the
so he played
TKO?
Into it. So he actually played into it.
At that point,
yeah,
you got hit so hard your toupee came off.
And apparently the toupee then, like a beach ball, was passed through the crowd. People putting it on and then passing it on.
No, I don't want that.
It gets funnier. He said his hair had fallen out that day.
What?
I don't know if this is a tall tale or not, but he said that he went to his mother's house. He grabbed a bottle right before he went into the shower below her kitchen table, didn't realize it was a mixture of ammonia and bleach, and shampooed with it.
What?
So he went to his manager. What do I do? He's like, nope, I got the solution, and glued this onto his head. And that's how he came to be wearing the toupee.
That leaves a lot to be desired.
There is a photo of the moment it comes off of his head. As he's being punched, and it's flipping up, like upwards. Punched him so hard it knocked the hair off of his head.
That's cartoon level violence right there. Black off. That's really bizarre. I'm not buying that story, by the way.
And I think we should end at that note because I'm not going to top that.
That's it. We're done. Thank you. Good night.
And that was an undercard fight. So the main event is nothing compared to that. Like, we can't follow that.
You cannot follow that. We're done.
You know what? And I bet you he was calling for help after that thing came off.
He should have just stapled it.
Send help.
Send help. Nice segue.
20th Century Fox logo. Old logo.
The old. What was that all about, by the way?
I took my whole family, so my son was with me. It's okay. It's an R-rated movie, but he is 15. He is able to handle it. So he whispers, it's like, I thought this was a new movie. I'm like, it is a new movie.
Yeah. It was a pleasure to see that. I forgot about that until you just brought it up.
Of course, but if you're Sam Raimi and you have the clout, I would want that in the beginning of my movie. If it's a 20th Century Fox, that opening is just so iconic. It's before Star Wars, before Alien.
Yep. I thought I was watching Star Wars. I thought I accidentally walked in the wrong theater. Yeah.
1941? Cool. No, that's Universal.
1941. Yeah. So before that, I caught a couple of the trailers, and I've seen this trailer now twice. This They Will Kill You. Did you catch this?
No. Oh, I went to my local New Paltz theater, which only gives me 2 trailers. So I didn't see this.
Well, so this a girl gets hired to be part of the cleaning crew at this hotel, and it turns out that the new girl is basically a sacrifice, and they all have to try and kill her, and it's just about her running around. And I'm watching this, and I'm like, this is Ready or Not.
And well, that's the trailer that I saw was Ready or
And
Not
then
2.
right after this, we got the Ready or Not, Here I Come, part 2. And I'm like, oh, well, now we're just leaning into it. Is this like a whole subgenre now?
I guess. I think maybe they unfortunately jumped on the bandwagon a little bit too late, and now they're going to be competing with the original. So that's too bad for them.
Yeah. It just, so anyways, yeah, Ready or Not, Here We Come is just like going international. It's like, oh, do you remember this movie, which was fun? Yeah, now we're gonna just milk it to death. But now her sister's involved.
Yep, Frodo.
And Frodo's involved. I guess she's got to find a ring.
Buffy, the Vampire Slayer, is involved.
Sarah Michelle Gellar?
Yeah, you didn't see her
Oh,
in
I
the
didn't see
trailer?
her. No, I guess I wasn't
she
paying
staked
attention.
her with a railroad spike. They show a
she
little
went-
snippet of a
She
fight.
literally went Buffy.
Yeah, in the trailer that I saw. It's a red band trailer that I saw, by the way.
Yes, yeah. Like you said, this Send Help is rated R for what? Gore? Which was
Well, not even. I think there's just
Yeah.
like they get their allotted F-bombs. I think that's really what
is
does
that
it
what it
more
all
than
comes
anything
down to?
else. Yeah.
I was waiting for her to call him a dirty bird. Yeah, so let's get into this. Sam Raimi.
Sam
Back in his,
Raimi.
horror genre.
He hasn't directed a movie since Doctor Strange.
The first one, or did he?
No, he didn't do the first
the-
one. He did the
it's
second
a
one.
Multiverse of Madness.
Yeah, so that was 2022. This is his first horror movie as a director since Drag Me to Hell, which
Drag
we
Me
covered.
to Hell, which we did cover.
That
And
was
only
all the
thing
way back 2009.
Oh, when the movie came out, not when
the
we
movie
covered it.
came out.
I was going to say, damn, I don't even think we existed then.
Yeah, no. But it's not like he hasn't been busy. He's producing all this stuff. Like,
Yes.
all the Evil Dead movies that have been coming out are produced by him. Ash versus Evil Dead, the show. So he's got his fingers in a lot of pies. A lot of speculation was rolling around that he would be doing Spider-Man 4 with Tobey
There is
Maguire.
still some rumblings I saw.
He's
this morning
denied it.
online.
He's denied it. But
Well, that's what you do. You deny,
Yeah.
until all of a sudden it's like, hey, look what I did.
and we're introduced to an office setting right up front. Laura Little. No,
it's
Linda Little. Linda
yeah,
Little.
Yeah, Arthur Miller would be impressed with this name. Like right off the bat, you're giving her name. And it's like, oh, I get it. Yeah, they go out of their way to belittle her. She's little. She's nothing. She's a speck. She's a little nerdy nerd.
A cubicle rat who is not getting her proper recognition. She's the hardest worker at this company. Did you catch what they do or what she actually does? She's in accounting in this company.
Well, yeah, no, she's not accounting because that was the joke that Bradley kept accusing her of being an HR
because
or an accountant.
Yeah, he calls her
she's like,
that
no,
so
no,
much.
I'm in
Like I took it for
strategy.
fact.
Yeah, she's like, no, strategy and planning was her
Okay.
department, and apparently he is the heir apparent to be president. His father stepping down to this company, but no, I don't. You never really understood some kind of acquisitions. They were going to Bangkok. Like it doesn't mean anything. You
It's
know?
just the setup to get them to the island. But yes, so you
Yeah.
see that this new boss, who is the dead boss's son, is such a heel. Boo hiss.
If you want to call her Linda Little, I was surprised they didn't just go Bradley No Good with his last name. Yeah, no, and you see it with his bros in the office. They're by the numbers misogynistic frat jerks who we all despise, and that's exactly what they are. He's a piece of crap.
And the guy that is competing with her for the VP position takes her report and like throws her name off of it because it was on a little sticky note. So he's going to take the credit. She is in misery at this job.
Well, you're told, she tells us that the original president, the dad who's retired, who we never see, although
Isn't he dead or is he
did
just
he
retired?
die? I
Yeah,
don't know,
because
but
she tells him as he walks by the desk, "I'm very sorry for your loss." That's
You
how
are
she
correct.
strikes up the conversation.
Yeah, with the giant tuna stuck to the side of her
Yes.
mouth.
I think anybody would react that way. I think if
Oh, to
anybody
fixating
approached
on the-
you that you've never
fixating
met
on the
before,
tuna.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
And she's Slavic. They go out of their way to make Rachel McAdams is
Unkempt.
just unkempt. That's a good word. But in IMDb, they credit Bruce Campbell as the dad.
Yes,
Is he
my
on
wife
the-
pointed this out
Is there a
afterwards.
picture? Is there a picture on the
There's a
wall?
portrait
Okay.
of him in
All
The
right, I
Office.
missed it.
Yeah.
So,
That's how Sam Raimi always does a Bruce Campbell cameo, and that's how he shoehorned it into this movie.
well, I'm assuming that the Oldsmobile was in there as well, but I didn't catch it.
Well, it could be, when this thing comes out on Blu-ray, there could be scenes that were cut, maybe with
could
Bruce
be.
Campbell. Yeah.
Yeah, it could be. But yeah, she was told that she was going to get the VP position because she was so valuable. But I don't know how that is if everyone just keeps stealing her work.
Your father was going to throw her a bone and give her the VP. He promised her. And so it sounds like even that was reluctantly. It wasn't that she was universally loved.
No one in the office wanted to even engage with her.
They didn't even seem to know what she did.
So they go out of their way to really hammer home this idea that she is just not well respected, not liked. She has no social skills.
Then it gets worse when you see her in her apartment because she just talks to her bird.
This is all exposition, though. You immediately. So she goes home. She's crying because this guy just again belittles her. All while he's hitting on the potential new hires as secretary. So I'm like, what is this? 1996? Who acts like this still in an office environment?
Well, this guy apparently.
Yeah, but it's all set up so you immediately despise this guy and you feel sorry for her. But you're right. She goes home and she's got a little bird named Sweetie, who, when she goes on this trip, who feeds that bird?
I would assume that somebody is taking care of the bird, but if she has no friends, who knows?
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe that'll be a deleted scene as well.
We finally get closure on.
You see her dropping the bird off to the vet so they can board it, or I don't know.
Yeah, that was my big question of this whole movie. But you're right. So we get into this apartment scene, and so it's all exposition because now all of a sudden you're seeing her bookshelf, and it's all these survivalist, how to live off the land, hiking. You see photos of her, traversing the world. She sits down with her bird and they're watching Survivor, the TV show, and she's obsessed with that. She's like, well, maybe things will turn around. Maybe we can actually get a bigger apartment this trip, because he reluctantly allows her to go to.
But again, only to steal her work, and he says
steal her work, right?
We'll dump her when we come back from the trip.
But this is all she has to hold on to.
Yeah.
But next morning, she pulls on her big girl panties and off to the airport she goes.
Where all the bros are congregating outside the private jet. As soon as she's coming across the tarmac, there she is.
Yeah, she's waving. She's awkward. She's just completely awkward. She's got these oversized clothes on that really bring home the little aspect. She's a shrinking violet, I guess is
yes.
What. Yeah.
She's sitting in the back of the plane by herself. She's not allowed to sit with the boys who are in the front of the plane.
I guess you got Wi-Fi on that plane?
Well, it's a private jet, I would hope so.
It's a private jet, yeah.
So she's actually working because I guess she's doing, she's writing the presentation or whatever that they all have to give.
She was doing some kind of a proposal, like she was all proud of herself that this is what I'm going to present to these guys and they're going to, see my value.
And meanwhile, they have found somehow her Survivor audition tape.
Yeah.
And they're up on the front of the plane looking at it, hilariously laughing.
But it's like she's videotaping it from like her backyard and at the top of a jungle gym. I'm like, you just showed me pictures in your office that you've traveled all over the world. Why wouldn't you have, whatever, it doesn't matter. It's just there to, again, bring home the idea that, maybe if this girl ever gets stuck on a desert island, she could actually hold her own.
But it also serves so that the carnage that happens just seconds later is very palatable because you want to see all these people.
No, these guys are set up to be, you despise them. So when the plane crashes, and it is incredibly cathartic because you're just like, watch that guy get his face smashed into the windshield. So the fuselage blows out. A couple guys go flying. She's got her seatbelt on. This guy's pulling at her, telling her, give me your seat as he's getting sucked out of the plane. And she finally...
then he starts to choke her. And that's how he's holding on to not get sucked out of the plane by putting his hands around her neck. Yeah. So she grabs a fork
Yep,
stabs him,
in the,
out he goes, and his tie gets caught. So he's flapping on the outside of the plane.
and his face is just keeps hitting the window, and it's just getting bloodier and bloodier as he's screaming. And she just lowers the
slowly
shade.
lowers the sun visor down.
And I'm like, this is hysterical.
Yeah.
This is so much fun. And like you said, it's very cathartic because these guys immediately get their comeuppance for being pieces of shit. You know, ooh, put your seatbelt on if you're a pussy. and then immediately that guy gets thrown. So it's a pretty impressive scene. Plane goes down in the middle of the ocean.
They're on their way to Thailand, right?
Yeah,
That's
Thailand.
where they were going. Yeah. The camera pans up over the CG plane crash in the ocean. It crashes right next to the island that she's got to make it to. Yeah. So next morning, she washes up on the beach and also finds her boss. He's the only one that survived, but his leg is gashed pretty good. So she drags him, makes a shelter so he doesn't get sunburn, like a nice shady shelter. She immediately
goes like MacGyver mode.
Yep.
Makes a lean-to, figures out, coconuts completely cut in half so that you can collect water when it rains. All these books that she's obviously read have now come in handy.
Catching fish. He is not happy, obviously, to be there with her when he wakes up. He's not thankful.
No, and he immediately is still in the I'm your boss, you're my servant mode.
Yep.
But there's that scene where she dresses him, his leg, fixes him up. So he's stuck there. Yep. And I will say, this guy, I don't know who this guy is, Dylan O'Brien.
He looked familiar to me, but I don't know offhand what else.
He looks like every other douchebag frat boy. So he does a lot with very little, because for the longest time, he's just kind of like stuck there sitting on the tree, and she's trying to feed him the fish, and he's acting like a 3-year-old.
I love this scene because he's like, and his head is going back and
sticking
forth.
His head, he's eating it like. So immediately, this goes into like comedy mode, and I'm like, all right, this is fun. There's a scene where she's hunting that boar, and I'm laughing my ass off. Is this supposed to be scary?
This is a case of you can take the director out of the horror, but you can't take the horror out of the director. But this is written by horror writers. So the two that wrote this, Damian Shannon and Mark Swift, their previous biggest credits were Freddy vs. Jason.
No.
And the Friday the 13th reboot. So... well, those always have, especially the Freddy movies, that you got to make James Bondish quips for Freddy as he's killing people.
Not that first movie.
Not that first one.
Funny at all. That first movie, he is not funny at all.
But it was surprising to me that it wasn't as horrific as it could have been.
And as we get deeper into the movie, I guess I thought and I wanted it to have a little more of a horror element to it, because I think we leaned into this because of the Sam Raimi connection.
Yeah.
You watch this trailer and you're just like I had to stop watching. I literally was turning channels. They were running commercials for this, and they were just showing every gross out scene.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't want to see, I just want to go in the theater and experience this. Can you stop giving me every little beat?
As you said, this guy does not let go the boss demeanor, the jerk demeanor, because as soon as he's conscious, he's belittling her again. He's like, well, have you tried making a distress signal or writing out a word on the beach or looking for the GPS?
Which is not wrong. You would think that would be, she gets a fire going. So, okay, that's one. And she's like, well, we gotta eat. We gotta survive. We gotta figure things out.
Yeah.
What's edible around here? We might have to go hunting. Like you said, she was already catching fish. Yeah, we're not in the office anymore. So it becomes this captor alpha male, but she's the alpha. The dynamic switches, but the metamorphosis of this character from this meek little shy girl to all of a sudden she's in her element, and you can see it. They immediately, her hair is not greasy. She's standing upright. As the movie goes on, she's shedding her clothes, and you see that she's full woman. And she's just very in her element. The minute she's on that beach, she's like, cool, I'm in charge now.
She asserts herself early, because as soon as he goes off on her, she decides, okay, I'm just going to leave you alone if you think that you can do better. And she does, and that's a great scene.
Yeah. And that's just him up against the tree, and Sam Raimi just keeps doing those wipes, just keeps panning across, And every time they cut to him again, he's just getting more and more disgusted. Okay, all right. He's literally looking at his watch like, all right, you can go back now. I got your point, because he's out there dying. He can't move. He's being scorched in the sun. At one point, he even says, "Do you see my skin? I'm never going to recover from this." It's like, dude, all your friends died in a plane crash and you're worried about skin condition. This is how shallow this guy is.
She starts to explore the island a little bit deeper. There's a scene where she hunts a boar. She finds tracks, and she hunts like this huge Pumbaa looking.
Yeah, and it's a great scene because she's trying to sneak up on it. Obviously the old, I stepped on the twig and it snaps, and you don't think that pig can smell you.
But it's giant. It's a monster.
Oh, it's the tusks on this thing. Yeah. Listen, I'll tell you what. You ever come up against a wild boar or a bear? I guess I'll take the bear, because wild boars are just nasty animals.
But it comes after her, and this is when you get the classic Raimi like point of view Evil Dead shot as it's going through the underbrush, and that's what I was looking for more of.
Yeah. Because this is a great scene. Yeah. And it's just, but like I said, I don't know about you, but there was a fair amount of people on my showing. I went to a 7:00 on Friday, and people were losing their minds over the scene. At least we were all laughing. And I hope that was the intention, because that's what came across. And I'm like, all right, this is fun. And the pig is she's literally got this thing shish kebab that breaks the spear.
Yeah, it's the classic way to kill something, right? If it's charging you, you just hold out a spear and let it impale itself.
Yeah, and that's exactly what it does, but it just keeps lurching forward. And like you said, its face is just getting closer and closer to hers. And every time it lurches forward, this big giant gush of blood is all over her.
And snot is coming out as well.
But she drags the head back. I'm like, that's not the part you eat. And it probably wouldn't have lasted more than a day and a half, because that meat's going to rot in the sun. So, but anyways, yeah. Did you ever go hunting? She comes back and she's just completely covered in blood. Did you ever go hunting? I think I like it. And he's just like horrified as he's sitting there going, what the hell am I getting myself into? I do find it funny that she could barely build a tuna fish sandwich at home, but here she's making a sushi platter. Yeah, a lovely sushi platter at that. She knows all about the berries, which berries to eat, which plants or which fish not to eat. She had somehow found a knife that washed up on the beach. That comes back as a plot point later.
Yeah, and you assume it came from the plane crash.
Well, you would think there'd be more from the plane.
But she did say at that point, like, you'd be amazed what you find. So you think that she's hoarding stuff, not just that knife.
Yeah, you definitely get the impression, because she sees the boat. She sees the boat and immediately says, "Not yet." And you're like,
she's by herself, right? She hears a boat.
You have to question the motives of this woman. She's got this boss who she just can't stand. He's at her mercy.
But that's when the psychosis comes in, because she's enjoying this.
But she does everything to fix him, to mend him.
She goes, "This isn't so bad, right? We have food, water, company." And then he realizes, you see his face, that she has no intention of leaving the island.
No, this is...
So everything he does from that point is trying to charm her, to get around her.
Yeah, because then the dynamic does change, where all of a sudden he's like, well, you look really nice. And I'm so glad they didn't go the romantic route, because there was a couple times where they were like in the cave huddling for warmth, barely clothed, and I'm like, here, don't do this.
Because even when when he's charming her, like every once in a while, his face will like show disgust, like he'll make a face or something when she's not looking.
But you made that reference that he comes to the audience does as well. I mean, I could have done without her seeing the boat. I wanted more of a twist at the end. She could have got him off the island the whole time. There's a Walgreens over there.
If they just had a flashback, right, to that scene at the very end.
At the end, you cut back. Yeah, because this is misery on Castaway Island, because she becomes like, I'm going to take care of you. Like I said, I wouldn't have been surprised if she just called him a dirty bird at one point, which is fine. But tonally, it does shift. She takes him up on the bluff. She takes him up there. Oh, yeah, by the way, that little X mountain top, don't go over there. It's all covered in barbs and in thorns.
Poison oak. You'll be scratching your skin off. Yeah.
And you immediately know that she's hiding something. She points out the plants, tells him which ones are poisonous. So you also know that that's going to somehow come back and play. But yeah, that scene where he makes her, can I make you dinner tonight? Makes her dinner. They have the wine.
She opens up to him that she had a husband and was in an abusive relationship with him for 10 years, and he died. Yeah. Car accident, and she just gave him the keys.
The keys.
Knowing that, he was drunk and something bad could happen, and it did. So,
but then we also get Bradley's story, and boo-hoo, he had a horrible upbringing as well. His parents were pieces of crap. Yeah. So, yeah.
So she thinks that he's opening up. Not only is she ruling over him basically on this island, but she's under the impression that he's falling for her.
That he's falling for her.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, of course, she doesn't want to leave. But yeah, it's all a ruse on his part because he's secretly building a boat, a raft, to get away from her and to get off the island.
And again, this is another funny scene where she lets her guard down and immediately eats the poison berry that he put on the fish. So now she's rolling on the ground, hacking it up and whatever. Yep. Ha! He runs into the woods. He pulls out his raft and off he goes. In the middle of the night, mind you. This guy has no clue what's going on. Got to wait till the tide is out.
Yeah, the waves destroy his raft almost immediately when he gets out there.
Yeah, and she has to save him again.
And she's still... This is one of the gross out scenes because he washes up on the beach and she staggers over because she still is poisoned from the berries. As she's giving him CPR, she's vomiting into his face.
Yeah, it was unrelenting too. It was just like, oh man, that's what you get. That's what you get.
And this is when it starts getting into misery territory, when you really feel that she is crazy. To get her revenge, she feeds him some kind of octopus, and she tells him,
I would never eat anything from this woman again.
Yeah.
This guy learns nothing. You just tried to kill her. Oh, I wanted to knock you out. I wasn't trying to kill you. Oh, okay.
So, okay, here, have this then. So he eats it and he's paralyzed because it's like a special kind of octopus. And she starts to, because he can't look down, she pretends she's castrating him.
And it's a well choreographed scene because you don't see anything. You see her take his pants off and his underwear. And she's giving him this story about, we've got to neuter a dog in order to teach him obedience, and you don't need this anyway. So that means to me that she was not romantically interested. Well, I mean, she faked him out. He's literally sitting there paralyzed, can't look down. He's got tears coming out of his eyes.
But I think that she is because they sleep together, right? In the cave when they huddle together for warmth, because when she wakes up and he's gone, she's naked.
Oh, I don't know if I thought that.
I thought she was. She covers back
then
up.
I didn't catch it because I wouldn't have liked that.
She sees him naked in the surf, so they go out of their way to make it seem like she's got feelings for him. That's why she's so mad to pull off this castration stunt.
But yeah.
The blood is splattering up into his face. And then you realize it's just a rat that she's stabbing over and over again.
You just kept the rat for that particular, that's good eating right there. Anyways, she's Kathy Bates now.
So now a second boat shows up. And again, she's the only one that sees it because she's on the other side of the island from, where the boss is.
We forgot to mention that Bradley had a fiance.
So the fiance apparently has been looking for him this whole time.
Yeah, we got the impression that it's now been like months.
Yeah.
Something like that. They gave up the search. Well, we never saw a plane. We never saw boats. Maybe she saw a plane. I don't know. But yeah, all of a sudden the fiance comes around the corner with like this little Thai boat captain. Yeah.
So she's chartered this all by herself. So it's only the two of them on this boat. She sees Linda there on the beach.
I knew it. She didn't care about anybody else. She just was worried about Bradley.
Nope. She says, where's Bradley? He's okay. He's on the other side of the island. And you can tell she's trying to think of how to get rid of them as she's leading them onto the other side of the island.
Which just takes it a whole new level.
Yep. So as you said, they go on the cliff where she fell earlier.
Yep.
And of course, I don't know how much of an accident it was, but the fiance also falls off.
Well, she literally stops to quote unquote tie her shoe because she wanted the fiance to go ahead and to step on that part.
And she did.
Right on cue, she falls.
Yep. The captain goes to help her.
I mean, you knew she did something, but yeah, you do find out that she just took a giant rock to the back of his head and knocked them both over. And so now she's sick to her stomach because maybe I took it too far. She calls out a sick day. You go catch the fish.
So Bradley goes off on his own and finds a hand sticking out of the sand. And the hand has the ring that he bought his fiance, which you see a little bit earlier in the movie as well.
Never once is like, wait a minute, how the hell did she get here? She was back in New York. But this is also where we get this scene with Linda where she wakes up and she hears screaming and it's the zombie fiance on the beach still alive. And I'm like, oh, I almost fell for it. No, it's just a fever dream.
So again, you get these little snatches of Raimi's horror creds.
Yeah. I would have been all in on this if that fiance was still alive. So now he knows that. What'd you do? Did you kill her?
They confront each other for the last time. He's like, "Did you kill your husband too?" And
you're as the audience, you're like, "Oh yeah, she definitely killed him," and is not remorseful. But again, if you're in an abusive relationship, sometimes you gotta feed them poisoned black-eyed peas soup. Go bury him out in the backyard.
So he's got the knife now. He's got the upper hand. He chases her. She ambushes him. They start a physical brawl.
Oh, he tears a giant chunk of her hair out of her head. Like her scalp is like
exposed.
I guess grew back by the end.
Yep. She tries to choke him with the laces of the shoes that her work shoes that are still on the island. She bites him on the shoulder like a zombie, takes a chunk of flesh out. He starts gouging her eye out on camera.
Oh, his finger is inside her eyeball socket. Yeah. No, it gets rough. Yep. And then he takes the typewriter and bashes over. Oh, no, wait, that's a different movie.
That's a different movie.
So he's on the run. And what does he see? A house.
He makes it to the same little cove where you saw like the boats earlier. Yep. And a little bit down the shore from this spot, is a house with lights on.
It's a mammoth palatial beachside.
I thought it was a resort at first with huge people on it.
It's huge open glass overlooking the coastline. Can only get there by boat. Just this beautiful house right on the other side of the island.
So he struggles.
Where she told him not to go.
So he struggles to the house, and there's nobody there. He lets himself in, and he sees that there's like a rack of knives with one of them gone, or with all of them gone.
All of them are gone. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is where she got the knife.
She does tell him later, right? Because she's already there.
She's on the intercom. There's like a security
intercom system. And then you see in flashbacks that she found the house a while ago. The one thing with this is that, like I said, the transformation of this woman from what we saw at the beginning of the movie, this greasy little mouse, to like this, her hair is flowing. She's got color in her complexion. She's standing upright. It's a huge transformation. But now, of course, she's got a half bulging eye.
Yes. So they're both very much the worse for wear. They're in the living room of this house and they face each other down for the last time, and he charms her again and she buys it again. So it makes it brings the point home that she wants this fantasy more than anything. She wants to be like king and queen all in one on this island with him as her servant. He realizes she has the upper hand. He goes down on his knees and he's like, "I'm sorry. I love you. I don't know anybody like you." And he's got like a big horn behind his.
Yeah, she realizes pretty quickly there was like a statue that had two horns and one's missing.
She ends up hitting him with a golf club and taking him out.
Yeah. But yeah, you do get that flashback when you see that she had been going to the house, enjoying the AC, eating the fresh fruit. There's nobody at this house. Who is leaving a bowl of fresh fruit in an abandoned house?
Yeah.
It's going to go bad real quick.
Unless she killed those guys, too.
She mentioned the people that were coming and going were the cleaning people. They were the maintenance. And she let them stock up. And then once they left is when so there's no security system. I guess if you're in the middle of the ocean on an island, you're just like, who's going to find this place? But her golf swing to his head immediately transitions into her a year later.
Yeah, on the later? On some kind of charity golf game being interviewed. And she says that she was alone. So they never even know that he was on the island, whether they, she told everybody that he went down with the plane.
Right.
So what she did with the body, who knows? Probably just dumped it in the ocean.
She would have had to do some serious cleanup.
Yeah.
At the house.
I mean,
they were breaking glass and windows, and
his blood was everywhere.
Right. Fiance went out to go find you. She never came back. Well, I don't know anything about that, but I wrote this book. Congratulations on that book. And she's all put back together, and now she's golfing. The whole point was she had nothing to go back to. So why did she?
Well, now she does have something to go back to. She's now a celebrity.
But that would be, that's a lot. Go back and it's like, all right, now I just need to write a book.
Because I think the whole point of her wanting to be there, the whole point of her wanting to be on the island was because of him. And she could rule over him. And now with him gone out of the picture, there was no point in her staying there by herself, because now it's just like being in her apartment. So
I don't know. The motivation was a little iffy.
And she looks right into camera as she's being interviewed, talking about her self-help book. No help is coming. Yep. Save yourself.
And then she drives away in a fancy car with her bird.
Yeah.
And so, the bird survived. Yeah, totally. It was, don't get me wrong. This was a lot of fun to watch. At the end of the movie, my buddy Frank turns to me and he goes, "This is the one I stayed awake for?" I don't know what to tell you. It is fun. There's definitely some moments of hysterical gore. But I think tonally, like after a while, you're just like, what is this girl's motivation? It's just kind of all over the place. So.
I liked her character, and I liked how, as we said before, the Dylan O'Brien boss character, he never lets go. Like, even when he seems like he's being likable, it's only a part of his nefarious plans to get around her.
Yeah, that scene at night when they kind of reveal each other, it wasn't enough for me to have any sympathy for this character. Like, I think you're always rooting for her.
Yeah, even when you find out she's a psychopath.
Right. Yeah, you're still like, well, listen, girls got to eat, man.
Yeah.
I don't know. Because they paint him as such a douchebag at the beginning of the movie that there's nothing redeeming about him.
The Rotten Tomatoes review aggregator gives it like 93%. Average rating of 7.5 out of 10. Mm-hmm. One that springs out here is the San Francisco Chronicle. Essentially, Sendhelp is Castaway if Wilson the volleyball was a misogynist tool.
There you go. I couldn't have said it better myself.
It cost a lot. It cost $40 million to make this.
What?
Because
that's the same as Melania.
There wasn't seemingly a lot of special effects going on here.
If that was somehow on a set, I'd be, like I said, outside of that scene up on the cliff. To me, it looked like it was.
Yeah, it did. It looked like to me. So far, it's made $7 million, but it's only been out for a couple of days, so it still has time.
There's really nothing else out there against it right now.
But yeah, this is an enjoyable distraction. I wasn't concerned with the time. It is just shy of 2 hours, but
yeah, I never felt like I needed to look at my watch.
Yeah, neither did I.
Like, where is this going? Like, I was along for the ride, and like I said, it's funnier than I would have given it credit for.
Yeah, and Rachel McAdams, great. She really inhabits the character, because sometimes you roll your eyes, oh, this beautiful actress is trying to act like she's like this little mousy girl.
Yeah.
But she sells it. She really does.
She does. And like I said, the transformation is not natural, because she, like, the minute she's on that island, she switches. It's like, oh yeah, I'm a beautiful actress. Look at me. Washing my hair now, taking off my clothes. I'm running around in my underwear. Although she did have giant panties on.
Yeah, she had grannies.
She had granny panties, and I'm like, well, that is true to that character. Yeah, I found the motivation after a while. It was like, especially at the end, when all of a sudden she's back and she's golfing and she's a celebrity, and it's just like, well, did they find her? Did she just hang out in the house until somebody finally showed up?
She probably just called somebody from the house.
That was I thought immediately that he was just going to pick up a phone.
Yeah.
Holy shit, there's a house here the whole time. Bitch been holding out on me.
Danny Elfman did the music.
Yeah, I forgot to even mention that. Not really memorable.
No, it didn't, stick out.
There was a couple moments.
It just gives you enough of Raimi to make you know that this is a Sam Raimi movie, but I would have liked more.
I agree. Yeah.
I'm going to give, out of 5 buckets, I would give this 3.5.
Okay.
After I was going to give it 3.25, but then I upped it after our conversation.
Interesting. I have it right here on my notes, 3.25. I might go up to 3.5. There's a lot of potential. Is this a movie that, 6 months from now you're coming across on streaming and you actually sit down and watch it again? Or do you just be like, I saw it. I know how it ends.
I don't think I would.
I would probably, I would watch it with my wife just to watch her reaction. And I know, like I said, the gross out scenes are not horribly grossed out, but they're enough that would make my wife turn around. She'd be like, oh, I can't watch this. Yeah, 3.25. I'll go just a little bit lower. I enjoyed it, but it is funny, which I said it's funnier than I would have given it credit for. But I think I wanted it a little scarier too.
Horror, comedy, adventure. Yeah, tonally, you're right. It is. It's hard to kind of pin down what this actually is. But let's leave the island temporarily. Actually, we're not, because my candy is very island oriented.
Okay, I was curious where we were going to go with this sand theme, island theme.
Not
Coney
sand
Island.
theme.
How come Coney Island is called Coney Island? It's not an island, by the way. We already did hot dog.
We'll have to investigate Coney Island some other day.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to throw that out there.
Maybe we could do Nathan's one day and we would incorporate Coney Island. But no, today I'm thinking island. I'm thinking coconut. I am thinking Mounds.
Oh, wow. I can't believe we haven't talked about this.
Mounds.
Nobody likes them. Mounds.
I actually sampled Mounds. I've never, ever had a Mounds in my life until this past week.
Mounds got coconut.
Mounds got coconut. And so here's the thing, is as a kid, no way. If I was eating that Whitman's candy box, I was dumping all those coconuts out first thing.
Yeah. I actually tell people I'm allergic to coconut because I hate it so much.
I wouldn't want to even touch coconut when I was a kid. I've actually grown accustomed to it. And when I was eating Mounds just this week, I was blown away.
What?
What Mounds is, and it's very simple, it is rich dark chocolate covered in sweetened coconut. And as a kid, I really didn't like that, almost like that wet crunch that coconut gives when you're chewing down into it. I don't even know if you even know what I'm talking about if you've never had it.
I've had it. That's why I tell people I don't like it.
Right.
I will say the same thing, though. As I've gotten older, I do appreciate a coconut shrimp.
Okay.
Yeah.
Coconut milk, I love. I just like the flavor. And eating a Mounds...
So it's a texture thing.
It's a texture thing. It always was more of a texture thing. But I didn't get it with the Mounds. And it was so... Because it was sweetened coconut, it was just... I just closed my eyes.
Right? It has almonds?
No, that's Almond Joy. So they are sister products, Mounds and Almond Joy.
Mounds got coconut.
We'll get there. That song, we'll get there.
But you would think that with something called Mounds that it would actually have nuts in it.
Or that it would be round.
The mound. Okay.
But it's not round. They're just little,
Humps.
Humps. Yeah, but humps wouldn't be a good,
humps.
Yeah. Mounds. It was invented in 1920 by this guy by the name of Vincent Nitito. And as soon as I read his name, I think of Tom Waits singing Waltzing Matilda.
Matilda.
Waltzing Nitito. Waltzing. Yeah, Vincent Nitito. In 1920.
I just think of the vodka. Tito's.
So back then, he invented this singular bar and sold it for 5 cents. So dark chocolate covering coconut. 1929, the Peter Paul Candy Manufacturing Company
Peter Paul, we haven't really talked, and all the candy talk, we haven't really touched on Peter Paul.
Because they don't really, have a lot under their belt in terms of like big name candy.
No, but
Peter
it's
Paul
a name
candy,
to recognize.
Yeah, they had Mounds, they had Almond Joy, they had Peppermint Patty,
Yeah.
and they also acquired Cadbury at one point.
Huh. Okay.
But when the Peter Paul Company, and minus Mary, because I don't know if she jumped on until they became a folk singing group.
Well, that's where they invented the Mounds.
Yeah.
They're all wheat, folks.
1929. So they took the Mounds. I'm sure that they paid Mr. Nitito handsomely. What they did was they made it a 2-bar package. Of course, they kept it at the same price for a while, but with World War II, they raised the price to 10 cents.
War.
Now, during World War II, lots of candy had some issues in terms of manufacturing during World War II because of sugar.
Yep.
So there were shortages of sugar and coconut. The coconuts they used to get from the Philippines before war broke out, but, they couldn't go that way, a volatile area to sail through. So they changed location for their sourcing of coconuts from the Philippines to the Caribbean. So they only had 7 boats. They called it a flea fleet.
FLEA?
These tiny boats. I'm just picturing the orca from Jaws, filled with coconuts to the brim. Now, it's not that there was no danger in the Atlantic because they used to come across German subs and ships that were sailing the Atlantic.
This is like high seas espionage.
This is espionage, and the Germans would leave them alone because they were just little tugboat-looking things. But our government was asking them for information about the whereabouts.
Oh, they weren't just blowing them up?
No. So they would come back with their coconuts from the Caribbean and then report to the U.S. government of how many boats they saw on the way.
Wow. Little tattletalers. Friggin' nosy Nellies.
So this was enough, this change of location, to keep the Peter Paul Candy Company in business during the war. So they wouldn't go under. They discontinued all of their other brands of candy and just concentrated on the coconut, the Mounds and the Almond Joy. Now, as you said, Almond Joy, we're not really talking about that one, but that is a sister product that was also made by Peter Paul that has almonds. No different than the Mounds, but it just brings almonds into the mix.
Okay. Which is very confusing. Okay.
In order to differentiate them, Mounds has red packaging. Almond Joy has blue packaging.
Blue.
It's very similar fonts, though.
Oh, yeah. Well, no, you got a branding going on there, so...
So Peter Paul owned the Mounds name themselves right up until 1978 when they merged with Cadbury. And then in 1988, Hershey acquired Cadbury, so now Hershey makes Mounds.
Okay.
The tagline for Mounds forever, almost forever, since the 50s, has been indescribably delicious.
Ooh, that's a big word.
Now, the way that they came up with this tagline is in the 1950s, they put out a contest for a 2-word description of Mounds.
So they couldn't pay an ad agency.
No.
They actually just said, all right,
well, you'll love
put
this
it up.
once you hear how much they paid this guy.
Uh-oh, okay.
Leon Weiss won the contest with Indescribably Delicious. He won $10. Meanwhile...
What? Oh, no wonder why they went that route.
Meanwhile, Peter Paul Candy Company filed a trademark application for the phrase in 1964, claiming that they first used it in 1956, and that's been their trademark ever since. So this guy only got a one-time payment of $10 for coming up with the slogan.
Logo on
this is why they didn't go to an ad agency.
Sure. And that's only because this guy had a thesaurus.
Yeah.
What is a word that's undescribable? Let me think. Interesting.
So, but of course,
$10. He didn't even get like a lifetime supply of candy.
you would have thought that would have been part
at least
of it.
throw
Yeah.
him a candy bar.
Yeah.
Nothing. How is it? It's indescribable.
Oh, thank you very much. Here's $10. Don't let the door slap your ass on the way out.
Correct. We got one. Have you, Peter Paul?
And in the 1970s, as you alluded to before, this became one of the best-known jingles on television. Written by Joey Levine, who wrote a lot of bubblegum hits. And as a matter of fact, he was the lead singer of the song Yummy, Yummy, Yummy.
Oh, okay.
And he also co-wrote it. He wrote the jingle, "Sometimes you feel like a nut, sometimes you don't. Almond Joy's got nuts, Mounds don't."
Yeah.
So that's the song.
That's it.
And that's how you're supposed to know
And it's
that
forever
Almond
stuck
Joy's
in your
got
head.
nuts,
Yes.
Mounds don't.
I feel like those earworms don't exist anymore.
Yeah, they don't really go out of their way to make songs like that or jingles like that anymore.
Did you, not to segue too much, did you ever watch 2.5 Men?
No.
Okay, well, Charlie Sheen's character, that's what he did for a living, was write jingles for TV commercials and ads. And I do remember one of his big claims to fame was that he wrote the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle theme song for the cartoon.
Is the person that actually wrote it a bit,
I would think that they would have had to throw the guy a bone.
Disgruntled
or at least
about
give him,
that?
I don't
Yeah.
know. They probably paid him something. I don't know. It's like Charlie Sheen didn't write that. So, but yeah, you feel like those little bangers don't exist anymore. That's what you need.
An aside as to where they're manufactured, when it was Peter Paul Company, they were manufactured in Naugatuck, Connecticut from the 20s until 2007. So even when Cadbury acquired them, they were still making the Mounds. And then after 2007, Hershey moved the manufacturing to Stewart's Draft, Virginia. So for a long time, Naugatuck, Connecticut, one of their claims to fame.
Hershey
was they
didn't
made
even
the
move it to
Mounds.
Pennsylvania?
No, they didn't.
Not even to Hershey, Pennsylvania?
Nope.
They farmed it out. Interesting.
No, and the Mounds now, the logo is just kind of like a rounded, brown logo that says Mounds.
Right.
But it used to be much more, if you've ever been to the Polynesian Resort in Disney World, the font was very similar to like all the tikis that you see in the Polynesian Resort, island-based coconut candy. So that's it, Mounds. It's never really strayed that far from the formula. A limited edition orange candy was introduced in 2006 with orange-colored and orange-flavored coconut, but did not last long.
Orange. Yeah, let's take a coconut and just give it another fruit flavor.
So I challenge you to give it a try. You might really like it.
Okay, maybe.
Mounds.
I'm sure that there's probably some buried in the bottom of my goodie drawer because you always buy those bags at Halloween, and there's always that one candy that never really sells or no one wants, and it just ends up getting left behind in the.
One candy that I will never have an about face on.
Butterfingers.
Absolutely.
We've been doing this way too long. I know your feelings on Butterfingers.
But yeah, maybe someday we'll do the Almond Joy. I'm sure the story is very similar to Mounds, but
can you just send me your notes? I'll do it for the next episode.
Yeah. What I'll do is I'll just record the words Almond Joy and put them over everything I just said.
In there.
Yeah.
Nice.
But there you have it, Mounds.
I like the Nazi U-boat story there.
Yeah.
That was fun.
Island of Dr. Moreau.
Yes.
1977.
H.G. Wells, based on a 1896 novel.
Yeah.
You mentioned this last week that the ads for this would pop up on the back of Marvel comic books.
Yes.
And I don't remember. All I remember is Orca all over the back of my Star Wars comics. And maybe I just wasn't reading.
It might have been on the inside cover, now that I think about it. Where I used to see the ad. But yeah, it was right around the same time that Orca was out. It was the same year that Orca came out.
Orca was 77? I was thinking it was 78.
Orca was 77. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we did cover that as well, didn't we?
Yeah, we did. But the poster is great. It just shows like a profile. It's illustration of a human profile morphing into like a jaguar.
Yeah, there's a couple different ones. I found a foreign poster that had a little more of the characters on it that I used for the Instagram post. So, and I feel like I watched this on HBO as a kid, and it just didn't hold. There wasn't enough action. There was a lot of talk up front. Yeah,
there is. And I don't know if I've ever seen this because this is one of those things that would play on commercials. They would play the commercials on TV, and of course they would show all the
creatures.
The creatures up front,
Right.
and
The
it kind of freaked me out.
the humanimals.
That is the most awkward phrase.
Humanimals.
Humanimals. Yeah.
I guess you can't call them animal hums, animal
Well,
man.
manimal is,
Yeah, I know.
that rolls off the tongue, right? But
And Manimal came after
it came
this.
after, and it was a very Michael Yorkish actor in Manimal.
It was like a one season, maybe on ABC or something, NBC, probably in 1980. So
what was that deal? He could turn into any animal he wanted, or just
I don't think it was
just the
any
cat?
animal. I think there was like 3 different animals you could turn into.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't remember enough about it.
But up
Somebody
front,
out there is
this
yelling at us.
is an American International movie, so they distribute it, and I love American International Pictures. Anything that they put out is like usually genre exploitation kind of a thing, and I just love the poster artwork. I love their output. So to see that this was an American International movie just tickled me right up front.
Just enough. You were enough that just the production end of it, you're like, oh, I love what those guys do. Like when you saw the Toho logo.
Yeah, exactly.
You're like, I'm in. That's
I
it.
love that logo.
Giant monsters.
I love it.
Well, once you see that name, Samuel Z. Arkoff, it's like, oh, this guy's wacky.
This is a period piece.
It doesn't tell you like when it takes place.
Although the Wikipedia says it's 1911, so it's early 20th century.
Interesting.
A shipwreck. So these 3 guys are adrift on a boat in the middle of the ocean. In a lifeboat. One guy, right in the beginning, dies and they dump him over. I'm like, you even going to take his pulse before you dump him overboard?
Not only that, you're going to get hungry after a while.
Yeah.
You might want to keep him around. There's no boars to kill yet. You might as well. Yeah, that was a waste. No, they dumped him. And then the other guy's got the quintessential 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, the black and white striped shirt. Is he a mime?
Charlie, his name was, right?
Yeah, well, Charlie doesn't last long either.
Charlie doesn't last long. They find the island, the quintessential island that all these planes and boats crash onto. So, and Braddock is our main character's name, played by Michael York, doing his best James
young.
Mason.
Michael York.
Speaking of Captain Nemo, dragging Charlie on shore, leaves Charlie against a tree. Charlie's like killed immediately by these things.
And this doesn't make any sense. So I'm assuming it was the Manimals. We're just going to call them Manimals.
Unless, again, if we're talking about deleted scenes, I was convinced that we were going to see Charlie later, but as one of the humanimals.
As one of the creatures that...
Because you're
Moreau
right. If they kill him, the law is that you don't kill, which they don't break until later in the movie.
Well, maybe you should be using apex predator animals as your... Why can't you just use a giraffe or a zebra?
Yeah, or deer.
These are all bloodthirsty animals that you're turning into humans. I'm sorry, we're jumping ahead now. There's a flaw in your friggin' battle plan, and it doesn't make any sense because if Moreau kills him, Charlie, but then leaves Braddock alive, and then later is upset, like he's gaslighting him. I don't know what's out in that jungle. I don't know what you're seeing. I don't want you to see this. Then why did you leave him alive?
Well, he does say at one point, Moreau tells Braddock at one point, you're obviously intelligent. You're well-read. You tell me you read.
Well, how did he know that for all we know, Charlie had a PhD. Charlie in the box is gone. Yeah, they kill him right away, which is cool because you're like, oh, there's something on this island.
Whatever Charlie sees, you don't see what he sees, but he screams like a girl when he sees whatever it is.
All you see is the shadows. Well, listen, that pig guy is enough to scare the crap out of you. Yeah. You thought that boar fighting with Linda was scary? This pig guy is pretty pig man.
Yeah, of course they have a portly actor playing pig man. Yeah, we've got a part for you. Oh, what is it? What is it?
Yeah, what's my name? Porkins. What? Wait, yeah, you're going to be a rebel pilot.
Your shirt needs to be open. Can you gain some weight? You really have to jiggle when you run.
Can you squeal? So, yeah, we find out they'd been at sea for 17 days. The boat's got a tiny little hole in it, which I guess he goes out of his way to try and fix later.
Yeah, and I thought that maybe that they made the hole so he couldn't get away.
Because I don't remember seeing it at the beginning of the movie.
No, I didn't see it either.
They were, unless it just, it was bouncing around on the beach there. I don't know.
But Moreau tells him that Charlie died, so he knows that Charlie is dead.
Yeah. He says he dies of thirst and exposure. And I'm like,
So that's
exposure
why I
to
thought,
what?
oh,
A
he's
pig
got
man?
Charlie. He's got him in the lab.
Yes.
And
you
that's
would
going to
like
be the
think
big
that later-
reveal.
Yep. You're going to see Charlie later. Charlie's
Yeah.
been mutated.
Just like
But
in
no.
Planet of the Apes when Taylor finds his fellow astronauts.
Oh, lobotomized.
Yeah.
Oh, that was bad.
But yeah, there's like a compound on the island, and Moreau has servants that look very weird, although Braddock doesn't really question that.
They look like little Ugnaughts from
Yeah.
Empire Strikes Back. Yeah. But
And
this is where we meet the girl Maria,
Maria.
who's walking around with an ocelot.
I just met a cat named Maria.
And he bought her as a baby?
As an 11-year-old. I think she said that she was
there's a
11 when...
And he also says that he'd been on the island for 11 years. So that means she's only 22.
So,
Okay.
again, where you think this is going, oh, she's got to be one of the creations.
Yes,
Right? And
yeah.
you kind of get that at the end, but it's not explicit.
So let's go through this because I do have a question. I did read something that there's a little more overt scene heavily implying that she was one of these creatures that was reverting back.
Which is why she had, the pet cat, the ocelot, whatever.
Yeah, well, at one point she's literally rubbing against Braddock like a cat. So I'm like, all right, this is creepy.
So this is Barbara Carrera. Barbara Carrera. Not only was she in Island of Dr. Moreau, she is in Condor Man.
Yes, I did see that. I didn't remember her though.
And,
she was also a Bond girl, was she?
Yeah.
Not? Yeah.
But she was in the off-brand Bond movie when Sean Connery came back.
Never Say Never Again?
Yes.
Is that what? Okay. Yeah.
She was a Bond villainess.
Oh, a villainess. She was a cat lady?
And it had actually that Bond movie has one of the most memorable Bond lines in any movie. Barbara Carrera has revealed herself as a villainess after, of course, she's already slept with James Bond.
No, you always do that first.
She has a gun on him, and he's got his hands up. And she says, "Tell me that I was your best." And he says, "Actually, there was this girl in New Jersey." And
that's a great line. What? Bang. Wow. You know what we didn't mention was the director, this guy, Don Taylor. Did you look up his IMDb?
No, I did not.
Yeah, he directed The Final Countdown, Escape from Planet of the Apes. So you're speaking of Planet of the Apes, and Damien Omen 2.
Really?
So this guy had a little bit of a pedigree.
So genre all over the place with this guy's oeuvre.
Yeah. But as you mentioned, Dr. Moreau, who to me is very, who's a Captain Nemo. He's almost got like that weird kind of stoic.
Yeah, and Burt Lancaster is playing into that here. Night and day different than Marlon Brando's oddball portrayal. I don't know what he was doing there, but if he was doing anything.
That's one. I know we went back and forth on whether or not we covered this or that version. I think this is the better of the two to talk about, but maybe not. Maybe we could have just gone endlessly into his weird.
But talk about a cinematic trope. So this is like the classic mad scientist character who has been shunned by the science world and has gone off on his own to seek his revenge. I'll show them.
But at one point, Braddock sneaks into the library and he's like, "What is he like? What's he looking for?" And he's like, "Aha, I thought so." And I'm like, "What? You thought what?" Was he finding journals from other ships that had crashed there?
And as he's on the island, he's hearing these
Chewbacca.
It was these mournful animal screams, and he's just like, whatever. Yeah. He's momentarily concerned, but
what kind of animals are on this island?
Yeah.
Oh, all kinds. Oh, okay, great.
So one day he snoops a little bit too far, and he finds the menagerie that Dr. Moreau has. He's got a bear on this tropical island.
He's got lions. He's got hyenas.
He's got every kind of dangerous cat that there
Jaguars.
is.
That's what I'm saying. Like, why would you? So he's not taking humans and turning them into animals. He is taking animals and making them human.
Yes.
And yet when he injects Braddock, who is a human, he just reversed it, so now he's turning into an animal?
Yeah, because he's never done that before. So, like, Braddock is the first of his kind to try this. So even Maria, if we want to go there, started out as an animal. He never
As a
picked her
cat.
up at 11 years old in Panama or whatever
No,
he said
maybe
he
it was.
got her.
Maybe she was an 11-year-old kitten.
Maybe she was, yeah.
I don't know. But
Well,
but
if you're an 11-year-old cat, you're at the end of your life. Actually, you're an
no,
old
I know.
lady.
Yeah. But you can't believe anything this guy says because, like I said, he's like, "Oh, you weren't meant to see that." Well, then why did you keep me alive? Like
Eventually, he's going to see it.
he's just gaslighting him
Yep.
the entire time. I don't know what you're seeing out there. I saw a giant man pig. What? That's crazy.
And then when Braddock is out exploring one day, he sees the servant, Mei Ling,
Oh yeah, like
on all
drinking out of
fours, drinking water. And he looks up at him and he's like unfrozen caveman lawyer from Saturday Night Live.
and they come out and they're on horses. He's like, I just saw something. I saw something crazy. And then they leave him out there.
And then Moreau's like, well, what did you see? I saw your servant. He was on all fours. This guy.
But he gives them this speech when they're in the library about embryos and can we change their destiny and should we? I'm like, so you're playing God out here.
But there is a lot, as to your point, there's a lot of talking going on, like during these scenes, like, debates between Braddock and Moreau.
Which is fine if you want to go down that road. But as a kid, it didn't make any, this guy's not convincing me that what he's doing is ethically correct or is going to answer any questions.
So the only two humans before Braddock shows up is Moreau and Montgomery, who's like a hired hitman, like security for the island.
And even at one point, Montgomery's like, you know what? I'm done. Enough of this. I'm done. It's like, what? You've been living there for 11 years. Yeah. Now all of a sudden you're done. Wait a minute. Maybe what we're doing is not right after all. Yeah, there's some wacky stuff going on, but like you said, you get all the animals that are in the cages. And then is it the bear man? There's a bear man. And then,
is he the one that's on the table that Braddock finds?
And he goes and he starts talking to the real bear. And then Moreau gets mad at him and starts whipping him. And I'm like, why?
Because he's like, you're human. You're not a bear.
Well, no. Did you see my notice?
The other bear's licking his face like, oh, right. that's my husband.
Right. Joey, what'd they do to you?
Yeah.
What the Pooh Bear. It's like, hey, boo-boo.
And the bear's probably like, it's pretty hot in here. This is not my kind of climate.
No, I don't like this. Yeah, correct. They're all living on an island. None of them are island-based animals. Like I said, if you don't want them to kill each other, then maybe you should be converting rabbits and zebras.
But Braddock never questions Maria's humanity because the next scene he's getting it on with her.
Oh, he is all over it. Yeah, and then Moreau's watching, and I'm like, well, this is just creepy. But like I said, she's rubbing up against him like a cat, and I'm like, yeah, I got the impression right away that she was yet another one of his experiments.
This is where we also meet his other experiments who live in a cave elsewhere on the island. I'm like, why did he just let them go? Why aren't they in the cages?
This doesn't make any sense either because they're all like hiding out in caves.
And they have like a little civilization there.
Right. So they all escaped because this entire compound is protected by this giant gate.
Yeah. So he's trying to keep them out. Yet he is going out every once in a while to hit home that he's their boss and that he's giving them a law.
Yeah. And this is interesting. Did you know that this ties into the Oingo Boingo song?
Yeah.
I always thought that was a reference to Animal Farm, which is not that far off of what's going on here.
But also, they say at one point, "Are we not men?" And I'm like, I want to finish that by saying we are Devo.
We are Devo. This movie influenced everybody.
And they also keep referring to Moreau's compound as the House of Pain.
House of Pain.
And that's where they got their name from, that rap group.
Oh, wow.
They have that song Jump Around.
Jump.
I doubt that's about the island of Dr. Moreau, unless you're trying to get away from, the human animal, you gotta jump.
Over the fence. Yeah, he's making them recite the laws. What is the law? Not to eat flesh.
Yeah.
Well, then don't make me a bloodthirsty animal.
Yeah.
But they realize pretty quickly, this guy's over there going, do as I say, not as I do. He killed.
But in the meantime, one of the, I guess it's the really
Pigman?
unstable one of the group. I don't know what they all at one point they all just kind of look like werewolves to me, except for the pigman and the bat
Yeah, after
guy.
a while it was because even like the bear, like if you didn't put him up against the bear, he would look like kind of like a pig.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there's
And the
one
one with the
scene where
horns,
the one like goes nuts and runs away from the civilization, and he gets into a fight with the tiger.
holy shit, this tiger, it's like Pigman 0, Tiger 1.
This isn't
that
like the tiger. This isn't like the tiger from Mighty Peking Man that's been drugged or whatever.
Or
This
even the
tiger
one from
wants
Life
to
of
rip
Pi.
this guy apart.
Yeah.
He's jumping on his back. He's biting his head. And you're telling me that this pigman wins against this tiger?
No, this tiger was all over him.
Yeah.
I would hate to have been that stuntman.
As a matter of fact, I'm sure it's this. They use the same tiger when you see a tiger in the cage. Whenever a human walks by that tiger, the tiger's going after him.
Sure.
Yeah.
Don't turn me into a human.
Yeah.
Jerk. We didn't see a tiger man though, did we? No.
Was there one with stripes?
I don't know.
I don't know. But yeah, Moreau's always saying they have to have rules or they'll kill us all. I'm like, yeah,
Right.
then why did you make them?
One drop of blood, and they're vengeful creatures. Yeah, they don't want to be turned into humans. Humans are jerks. Now you mix them with a friggin' boar.
But now at this point, Braddock is just like the boss in Send Help. He's like, I got to get out of here, right? I'm going to fix my.
This guy's crazy.
So he takes the boat that has the hole in it. He hides it so he can fix it in secret.
Like, where'd he put the boat?
Yeah,
Maybe
like where'd that
put it
boat
behind
go
that
that was
tree.
here? Yeah.
Right. He's like, oh, well, there is a supply ship coming, but it's not going to come for 2 years. It's like, do you want to go back to the cave?
How many supplies do they drop off if they don't come every 2 years?
Do they bring him new animals?
I would think so. Yeah.
After all this time, eventually you're going to run out of animals. And didn't he imply that once you stop giving them the injections, they revert?
Well, that's what happens to Braddock at the end.
Because he only gets a couple injections. So the guys hiding out in the cave eventually would just turn into animals.
They would
You would think.
yeah.
Then they wouldn't need clothes at all.
Unless they're just, dragging them back one at a time to get their new injection at the House of Pain.
So what are they eating out there?
You would think that their food supply would eventually dwindle if they're just living off the land.
Right. So were we led to believe that, I don't know, that they ate Charlie? Or did Moreau? I don't know. Yeah.
But he tells Maria that she can go with him, and she's like, I don't know if I can live off the island, because she knows what
correct.
she is.
So I think
he never questions it. He never questions it.
Yeah, well, that's all she knows since she was purchased as a baby.
Yeah,
but he gets mad at the pig man for the tiger, and it's like, the tiger started it. What do you want me to do? What am I supposed to do? Sit there and take it? This thing literally had my head in its mouth. I'm not afraid of tigers, but that's got to be a horrible way to go. Getting eaten alive. I always talk about like being sharks because you're out of your element in the water.
Yeah, Moreau's pissed at him for killing the tiger, and he's like, back to the House of Pain for you. He's like, no, House of Pain. And Moreau's actually going to make him listen to the CD House of Pain.
No.
Who did the makeup for this? I just read this.
Oh, you know what?
somewhere.
I didn't even dig that deep because it is like that scene when he walks into the cave and they're all kind of like, it's like a house of horrors. They're all like popping out. Pretty well done. You would think it's the same guys that did the Planet of the Apes.
It is the same. That's what I'm getting at. The makeup team or makeup guy on this is the guy that did Planet of the Apes. And as a matter of fact, these humanimals are moving in the same way kind of that the apes do in that movie. So I'm wondering if they're all the same actors in the...
Roddy McDowell as Bearman.
Yeah. Barbara Carrera posed nude in Playboy with men wearing the humanoid makeup to promote the movie.
There you go. Now I want to go see it.
But yeah, the end goes bananas because we know that Braddock is going to get the injection at some point, and sure enough, Moreau gets to him. And
he immediately starts turning into John Bon Jovi.
Michael York's profile, he already has like a weird kind of nose, like, so you could tell the makeup guy is like, ooh, let me get my hands on this guy. We can work with him.
Right.
He doesn't, it's not too much of a stretch to put makeup on him to turn him into
but it's not like you never fully get like what he's turning into. There's a lion. He's got like the shaggy mane kind of thing going on, but
so I think Moreau with him is trying to reverse engineer, trying to figure out the problem of why the animals are reverting. So somehow Braddock turning into an animal might give him the key of working it the other way. I don't know.
I
It's
don't
very
know. He
vague.
should have kept Charlie alive, and then he had
Yeah.
two guys to work with.
Moreau puts Braddock in the cage as he's turning, and he's like, eat. And he gives him a rat to eat, trying to turn him into an animal.
Oh, those rats were holding on to that cage for dear life.
Yeah.
They were like,
And he's like, no, I remember who I am.
I am not an animal.
But
Yeah, you're right. The end of this movie is batshit crazy. And boy, if you're an animal lover, it's hard to watch because there is no end credit scene that says no animals were harmed in the making of this movie.
There is not. There is
PETA
not.
must have lost their freaking minds.
All the animals get out at the same time. The lion goes right after the cow. The cow is so scared it breaks through the wall to get out of the shack. The
Sure.
lion's right after it.
The cow's like, my agent did tell me, I'm out of here. This is not what I paid for.
And one guy, another big cat, gets tackled by one of the humanimals, out the hole in the side of the shack. And
the guy was running from the jaguar, and they both fell off it's crazy. While everything is on fire, Moreau gets killed, and he pulls a Weekend at Bernie's. He's like, no, look, he's still alive. It's like, freaking hang him by his neck, dude. I don't think he's alive at all.
The animals are about to break in and kill Braddock and Maria, and he, as you said, does he string him up by his neck like he's hanging?
No, I don't remember how he is hung up.
He's hung up, and he's like, look, he's alive. And they slowly back away and run away as the animals are they're poking him. Yeah. He's not alive.
Right, correct. You fool. He pooped pants. I'm dead. Yeah, and then they just go crazy.
They get on the boat and they escape.
Except the pig man comes after him. He pulls a Jason right out of the water. But he gets away by goring the boar. He gored a boar right in the eyeball.
First, he breaks the oar over his head. That doesn't do it. And then he stabs him in the head with it. So
now you only have one oar, so you're just traveling in circles.
That pig man, he's the most athletic of the bunch.
Yeah.
Jiggling and wiggling.
He at least made it to the surf. Surf and turf, baby.
But the cow, that poor cow.
Come to the island, they say. We'll have some fun in the sun, they say. Yeah, okay. No one told me anything about humanimals.
Yeah, meet Leo the lion, Mr. Cow.
So he's right back where he started from, except that now he's got a cat chick.
So this is the scene. So they flag a boat down. And you see, because I guess they've been out on the water overnight, and in the morning they find the boat, and he wakes up and he's human again. He's no longer half animal.
He immediately reverts.
He flags the boat down and he turns to her and he's saying, look, a boat. And she looks at him. Her eyes are huge. And they cut a scene that they should have shown after that.
Yep.
Where they showed that, and then they were going to show her again, with even more cat makeup on. And that was just the transition shot.
It didn't take anything. The minute she's off the island, she immediately starts reverting.
Yeah.
I
don't know. They thought it was too, I don't know. They wanted a happy ending.
So it doesn't exist?
It exists. I think they showed it in some territories, or when it was on TV,
that's what I read.
Added it.
There was a subtle scene there at the end implying. Do you think that's a deal breaker for Braddock? He's like, I already slept with this chick twice.
Yeah, no.
Once on the beach. Once you have sex on the beach, you get sand everywhere.
Well, eventually, it'll just be his pet cat.
Come here, you sexy little ocelot. I thought the fact that she was licking the back of her hand was a dead giveaway.
It was always meant to be.
Yeah.
That she was a cat the whole time.
The whole time.
This is obviously low budget. Sometimes it feels like you're watching a TV movie. Just the way that it's filmed.
Well, yeah, a lot of the animals, the humanimals, are in the cave, so it's all in darkness. They're not brightly lit, not like the Planet of the Apes where these guys you can't hide anything there.
So it's not like a top-notch production or anything.
No, but it's still a pretty crazy.
It is.
I don't think I've ever read the book.
No,
I'm pretty sure I have the Marvel adaptation comic somewhere.
Yes, I never saw the movie, but I had that comic, so I knew the story of this movie. And I think at the end of the comic, you do see the panel where she's completely cat.
Okay. Yeah, that's a little more ambiguous.
So out of 5 buckets, what would you give the Island of Dr. Moreau?
I am going to give this a solid 3.
I am going to go right there and match you.
Yeah.
3.
It's very talky. I don't think this guy really, like, he could still be arguing with me, and he couldn't give me a good reason why he was doing this. You're just a wacko. Like you said, he got probably driven out of his scientific community. So he probably had some resources, got himself a little compound on an island, and just said, screw it. I'm just gonna make my own little critters. There's no rhyme, no reason to why he's doing it. I would have liked to have seen like a little more, like some of the animals not as transitioned into human. Like they were, I mean, we got that a little bit with the bear guy, but I mean, he was still a human with just a bear face.
Yeah. Oh, what could they have done?
I mean,
how much more could they have done with the
70s,
makeup?
right? Correct. Yeah. Now you could easily do something. So I don't know the Marlon Brando version, like how crazy the critters got.
It wasn't wildly different from what you see here.
Just humans with augmented faces.
Yeah. So this was released in July of 1977, so the summer of Star Wars.
Yes.
Didn't do well. The budget was $6 million. Budget was $6 million. It only made $4 million back at the box office. However, this was the second in a trilogy of H.G. Wells films that American International put out in like a 2-year period. The first one they did was Food of the Gods.
Okay.
This was the second one.
Have we ever covered that?
No.
We've never covered.
Talk about, no animals were harmed. That is, you actually see rats being shot on screen in that movie.
Yeah, that's probably before that code came into existence.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the end of that movie always like stuck with me.
With a kid drinking
the kids
milk?
are drinking the milk that came. Yeah. And you're just like a big question mark. You're like, ah!
Yeah.
That's like finding out that the blob is unfreezing.
Yeah, or it's the blob is in your Jello as you're eating it.
Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle.
But Food of the Gods came first, then this, and then the third movie was Empire of the Ants.
Oh.
I've seen that many times as a kid, Empire of the Ants.
I'm going to honestly say I don't know if I remember ever seeing that one. Not as memorable as them. I mentioned them to a coworker the other day. The belt in the building was making a real high-pitched squeaky. I said, "You ever see the old black and white giant ant movie?" He goes, "I have no idea what you're talking about." I said, "Well, that's the noise they made." I was like, yeah. And then I ran out of the building just in case they were giant ants. I wasn't taking any chances.
There was a Jeff-shaped hole in the side of the building.
Full on Wile E. Coyote. It's like, zoinks!
And what else did we do this week?
I drank a lot of rum runners on the island. I'm completely inebriated. You know what I did this week? I caught up on the Game of Thrones, the new show on HBO.
Oh, is it any good?
A Night of the Seven Kingdoms. So there's only 2 episodes, and I prefer watching in bulk. I think I like waiting until there's like 5 or 6 episodes and then just watching them at my leisure. But so it's definitely a weird. It's tonally different than the other Game of Thrones. Now, I've never seen the prequel series, House of Dragons.
Right.
I've never got into that. But this is set 100 years before Game of Thrones. And there's mentions of King's Landing and Targaryens and whatnot. But this is pretty much a standalone character, Sir Dunk, who is referred to as a hedge knight. So he is not attached to an actual kingdom or a knight or a king, so to speak.
Is that like a hedge fund?
Well, yes. He literally lives like in the bushes.
That's why they call him that?
Yeah, he actually refers to as a hedge knight.
I am a hedge knight. He is a bush knight.
Yeah.
And he is a shrub knight.
He's a tree guy. Yeah, he hangs out underneath the tree. And there's some flashbacks to his story, but it's funny because this actor, who I didn't write down his name, is a weird cross between Channing Tatum and Samwise Gamgee. And he found himself with a little squire who's named this little bald-headed kid named Egg. And all he wants to do is he wants to get into the there's a bunch of jousting. There's a big event going on, and he wants to get involved to prove himself, make a name for himself. So It's
Well,
fun.
what
There's
else?
some
What else
funny
are you going to
moments.
call the bald-headed kid? Actually,
Well,
because
it's a
I could
little
see the
on the
scene like the
nose,
knight
yeah.
would say to the kid, "We need a nickname for you," and the kid's like, "Egg."
Eh.
Yes.
Well, he asked him straight up, "What's your name?" He said, "Egg." It's like, really? Again, we're right back to Porkins. It's like, yeah, I see your head, kid. I know. Can we just call you Charlie? There's only, like I said, there's only 2 episodes. They drop, I don't know, 10 o'clock on Sunday night. So I'll never watch it when it drops, but I'll stick with it.
Well, I watched the entire first season of a show called Pluribus on
Oh,
Apple
you
TV.
did? Yep.
Yes.
Okay.
Now, I was avoiding it because the graphic looks pretty annoying to me of just, a woman's head screaming. I'm like, what is
Yes,
this?
correct.
But then I
Did you?
heard it was Vince Gilligan, that it was sci-fi, so I watched it, and it is very good, I'll have to
Okay.
say. The premise is, this is without giving anything away because
Yeah, I
this
don't even know
happens
what the premise is.
in the very first minutes of the first episode. An alien virus is somehow makes its way to Earth via radio signals. But it's like a
Huh.
DNA code, this virus. And as scientists intersect it and are studying it, and they realize it's a virus and they inject it into lab animals. And of course, during a lab mishap, one of the animals bites one of the scientists. So
If
what
it's a
this
radio signal virus, how are they making it into a physical form?
I don't know. They haven't
Oh.
gotten that far yet with it.
Oh,
But
okay.
what this does to you is it brings you into a hive collective. So whoever is infected with this virus is taken over by the hive mind. Now, they also absorb all the memories of the person that they take over.
And do
So
they share that with the
they
hive?
they share that with the hive. So for whatever reason, the setup of the show is the whole world is taken over easily. It's just by contact.
Sex with a cat woman?
Yeah, that would definitely do it. But it turns out how many were there? 15, 12 or
That
15
are
people worldwide that
immune.
are immune. The hive mind is trying to figure out how to turn these last people to the hive, but as they are, the hive is trying to do everything that they can to keep the humans happy until the point where they can turn them. So somebody in Sri Lanka, for example, will know who the person is in America because it's a hive mind. So everybody knows everything that everybody else knows. So,
So they're not like Invasion of the Body Snatchers, mindless drones
exactly.
per se.
They are still drones. There's no queen, but they're there to that. And this is what they do. This alien race is they take over worlds for the betterment of the world.
Doesn't sound so bad.
That's how they sell it to the people. But they're like, well, where's the person that you took over? Oh, they're gone now. I could pretend that I'm them. And so a
What
few
would
of the
the point of it?
survivors, they're like,
Okay.
okay, I'll do it.
Sure. This is like
but-
being in the Matrix.
But the
I know
main
I'm in
character,
the Matrix, but
the
I
main
enjoy it.
character wants to fight with everything that she has
Sure,
against them.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
I've heard about it. I did not know the premise. And you're right though, that little graphic that they put up there on the front is like, this is like a Midsommar,
Yeah, it looks
which
very
I don't want to
jarring.
watch it
Yeah.
either. I've heard just enough about that to know I don't want to watch it.
But it's very good.
Interesting.
Pluribus.
Okay. All right. Pluribus. Pluribus.
Hence the name Pluribus. It's,
Latin for people?
it's one for all for
One
one
for all?
kind of a thing.
Oh,
Yeah.
hive mind.
Hive mind.
Okay. Interesting. I didn't think aliens knew Latin, but okay. So we have no idea what we're doing next episode.
We don't, and we're hoping a good idea will come to us beforehand.
It
because
usually
there's nothing
does.
really.
We're always proud of ourselves when we
Yeah.
come up with something. Not that anybody else appreciates it or not
No.
acknowledges it, but listen, at this point, we're just entertaining ourselves out here.
Yeah,
It's all we can do.
it is.
We
And
just
as
do
long
this
as
for-
it entertains us, then it's worth
correct.
doing.
I'm glad we saw Send Help.
Yeah.
I really have to struggle. I'm struggling with the title of that. I was like, wait a minute, wasn't his other movie Send Me to Hell? No, it's Drag Me to Hell.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Sam Raimi. We would have had to seen it sooner or later.
Yeah. If you actually sat through that and you're like, oh, that sounds interesting, go check it out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I said, my audience, and there was a fair amount of people, everyone was laughing at the same thing. So I was like, okay, I guess this is supposed to be funny.
Yeah, I saw it on a 1 o'clock matinee on a Saturday, and it was like half full, the theater. But there was this one person who was a talker, obviously, in the theater.
Okay.
Talking to the screen,
Oh, no.
not having
Don't
a
go there.
conversation.
What are you doing? Honey, what are you doing?
Every word of dialogue, you would hear the person go, uh-huh, uh-huh, uh-huh.
Really? Oh,
So in some cases it was annoying. In some
window.
cases it kind of accentuated the movie. But yeah,
Bring it home, baby. It's pretty wild. People are crazy.
but there you have it. So thanks for listening.
Yes, thank you very much.
Yeah.
Hope you enjoyed your time on the beach. All right, thank you.
Bye. If you like what you just heard, be sure to follow TMI Confessionals of the Nerd Kind on Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, Spotify, or whatever you listen to your podcasts on. Also, be sure to email us at tmipodcast2018@gmail.com.
You can also follow us on all of our socials. We're on Instagram, X, Facebook, Threads. Just go to tmiconfessionalspodcast.com. All of our links are there. And leave us a 5-star review. See you at the concession stand.
Thank you. Black off.